Hello guys, welcome back to Euro Truck Simulator 2 RMD Career part number 2. The first part I did a live stream to get things going a little bit for about 2 hours. I think I did a live stream and yeah, all the way from the basic. So we created this new profile, RMD Career. I mapped the keys, then I did like 4, 5 or even 6 transports till we were level 3, and that means that we got some mails meanwhile, and at level 3 you get the second mail from the bank telling you that they upgraded your credit from 100,000 to 500,000, which gives us a bit more room to buy a new truck. The total game time spent is 1 day and 4 hours. That is virtual time, of course, so which means we have still about 6 days left for our profile. Yeah, I need to log on here because that's what also what we did. I'm gonna remember the password, that makes it a bit easier for the next time. Then it automatically signs in. So we bought this Volvo FH 460 horsepower 13 liter engine. Then we connected to the World of Trucks, which made us able to change the profile picture and also the license plates back and front into Racemaster Dave. Then I bought the truck from the garage from Brussels. I also have the Belgian license plate. Now I don't know 100% sure how it works for the rest, because there are other garages in most of the cities. I think in every city there are garages that you can buy. And if you buy a truck from there, it might be possible that, for instance, in France, that you will have a French license plate. Or has it to do with the drivers that you have to hire in the country to give them a certain license plate from a certain country? I don't know exactly. It will always have, if I buy other cars, I hire drivers, I can switch from truck to truck. And whenever I'm in the truck, it will have my license plates. Other than that, we will see how it works out. So quickly gonna go to the about here, where you can experiment with different setups. So to put it pretty simple, we bought the Volvo 2012. It also has a 2009 version, but that's the older version. So we went for this one. We have the low cap, the sleeper cap, because the other ones are not available yet. Well, as you can see, they unlock at level 8 and level 12, but we are only level 3 or 4, so it's not working. The same goes for the chassis. So we have a 4x2. Eventually gonna need a 6x4 or an 8x4, especially if you're gonna transport a heavier cargo. Then we come to the engines. As you see here, 13 stands for 13 liters, but most of them are Euro 5. The 420 horsepower and these two 460 horsepowers, those were the ones that we had available. So I went for the Euro 6 460 horsepower, and all the rest, as you see, will unlock at level 6, 11 and 10 and different levels. Eventually it goes up to 16 liter V8, and then it will say FH16 here, and then it has 4 different versions apparently: 540, 600, 700 and 750. At this moment in time, I believe it's 3 versions: the 550, 650 and 750, I believe. That is in real life, but in this game it's still all Euro 5 except for this one. That's why I chosen that engine. It's more fuel efficient than the older Euro 5 engines. Not sure what I'm gonna do with this. Gonna keep it like this, or are we gonna upgrade later or go for another truck? We will see. Then gearboxes, also a bunch of gearboxes available, as you can see, but I think this one was available, but you also have the retarders, and that kinda makes it more interesting. The retarder gearboxes are better than the ones without. So we have this one available, and it has also the highest ratio, so it's probably going to be the best after all. Until level 16, and then we have a 32 ratio and differential of 3.4. That's going to be better then, and that has 12 plus 2, So it has 12 gears and then 2 gears for like uphills and such. So if you're gonna do heavy transport, you're probably gonna need this one eventually, but then we need to be level 16. And yeah, then the rest is like visual things, colors and stuff like that. So we will see what we do with it. At this moment we have one truck. So next up is we're gonna have to do transports obviously, but if you go to the job market in the live stream, only the quick job was available, where we got hired as a professional driver, and we worked for other companies. That also meant they pay the toll, they pay all the fuel, they pay if you take a train or a boat, it's paid by the company. Don't have to worry about that all. That's a bit differently now, because we have our own company with our logo, which we also put on the truck. And now we have to pay everything ourselves, including the loan from the bank. We got a loan for 100,000 and then another one for 50,000. So we can still get a loan for 350,000. Now we have a garage, company management. If you go to the garage manager, we have one tiny garage in Brussels. That means one truck, which we bought, and we are at 97% week productivity. We need to get 20,000. We have 19,000 profit. Now that's going to go down a bit because, well, we have truck maintenance. We do not need to pay ourselves, of course, so we do not have driver's pay at this moment. But we will have to fuel up, so it's gonna have some costs here as well. So we need to do a few more transports to get it up to 20,000, and then we have 100% productivity. And we only play for, what was it, 1 virtual day and 4 hours, so we still have 5 days, virtual days to get this going. Should not be a problem. If you do 2 or 3 transports, especially if you're higher level, then it's even like 1 transport. You can easily get that to 20,000. You can upgrade the garage for 180,000, and that gives 3 spots available, but we already have a spot of ourselves. And that means that we are only gonna get, for 180,000, we only gonna get 2 spots. So I think it is already more interesting to just buy a new garage. In every city is a garage. So if I go to Liège, which is also in Belgium, and I buy the garage there, then I have also 180,000, the same price, but then I will have 3 spots available, which means I can get 3 trucks and 3 drivers. If I upgrade this one, I will only be able to get 2 drivers instead of 3. So that's less income and so on. And then later, when we have enough money, then we will just upgrade the garage here in Brussels as well. So first upgrade 180,000, or buy a new garage, also 180,000, 3 spots, and then later on you can upgrade it again for 100,000 to the maximum of 5 spots. I got a friend of mine who has like all the DLC maps and everything, and he has all the garages, and I believe he has 104 garages. So this game has a long-term potential if you want to play around with it, or you can just keep it simple and just do transports. But yeah, we have to drive now. That is pretty simple. Back to the job market. So you can still, even today, you can still drive, although we have our own truck, we can still drive for other companies, and then you get a truck, and just like we did in the live stream. But now you also have the freight market and the external contracts. The freight market, as you will see, it's no longer trucks here in the pictures, but now it's only trailers. Because we have our own truck, we need to pick it up. Which also means you have to pay an eye where you are, and don't take a transport here somewhere, because yeah, then you need several hours to get there, and then the transport might be expired by then. That's something we have to take in consideration. That's for the freight market. We can always go there. External contracts, another reason why we connected to the World of Trucks. Those are kinda World of Trucks delivery contracts, and if you're not connected to the World of Trucks, then you will not be able to get these. Now these not necessarily gonna give you more money than on the freight market. Usually it's a bit less, but very often they are connected to certain events which are going on occasionally, and not only that, for achievements and such. Those are all connected to the World of Trucks things going on here. So that's sort of where we are now. We got our first truck, and now we need to get some money into. We still have 45,000, but of course we have to repay, and that's why I took like 2 separate loans, 100,000 and 50,000. If we do a few jobs, we will have over 50,000. We can already repay this one, and then we can borrow 400,000 again, and that was probably what we're gonna need a bit more. We're gonna need around 450, 500,000 in total to buy a new garage or upgrade it, buy 2 new trucks, and hire the drivers. The drivers need to be hired from a recruitment agency, which we already have also a few, I think. Can you see that somewhere? And also, yeah, the truck dealers. That's not that. In the live stream, we like for instance, we drove from Brussels to Amsterdam, but I took like a little detour through Rotterdam to find the dealer, and also those question marks that you always see on the minimap, and that's why I drove like that, to find the dealer. So now I have Iveco, I have Mercedes, I have a DAF, I have Volvo, an MAN, and a Renault. So which means I have 6 brands, and there are 7. So which one are we missing? DAF, Iveco, MAN, Renault. Oh, Scania, right? And that is the Scania is in Lille. So that's why I also chosen Brussels, not only because I'm Belgian, but also all these dealers are around this spot here. So we need to do a transport to Lille, and then get the Scania, and then we have all the dealers available. All the rest are also dealers, but from what I know from some test profiles that I did, on one of them I did find all the dealers. So it's not that important to find all the dealers. Recruitment agencies, on the other hand, also a bunch about. That is kind of important that you find as many as possible, because the more you find, the more drivers you will have available to have a wider selection of drivers. So that's why we need to find those things. So if we go into a city and there are question marks, we're always going to take a little detour to unlock those things. That being said, that's like 15 minutes of yeah, goals and updates and things that have to go. We still have to go by the skills. So we are level 3, that means we have 3 skill tests. Every time you level up, you get a new point that you can spend. The first one I put on long distance for the simple reason, if you do not have any on long distance, you will only be able to do, or you will only get offers for jobs which are 250 kilometers long, which is not that long, and that also means you don't get much money. The longer transport you do, the more money you will get. Not only that, you get a 5% higher reward. So it was 250, now we have 1 point on it. We can do deliveries up to 350 kilometers. We get 5% higher reward if we do somewhere between 250 and 350, which is sort of the increase that we got with that, putting that point on there. And we also have 25% experience bonus, which makes us able to level up faster if we do a delivery distance longer than 250 kilometers. That's why this one, the first one that I put there, because of the 25%. And then I put the fragile cargo, the same story. If you do a fragile cargo, you get 22% experience bonus. And then I went for just in time, which are like urgent deliveries. That was a 20% experience bonus. And the next one I will do, if we level up again, I will go for high value cargo. That gives 18% experience. The eco driving, that has to do with fuel economy. You not get a bonus of that. You just save some fuel. If you have 6 points on here, you can save up to 35% of fuel, compared to if you do not have points on this. So these are like, yeah, not that important. Especially not in this format. We have a 4x2. We have 1400 liters of fuel. We do not have to take fuel that many times in the beginning. It's only if you change to other chassis, where you only have 600, 700 liters, then you have to fuel up very often. And then this one also gives all the dangerous goods, let's call it that, explosive, chemical products, stuff like that. You don't get offers for that unless you have the skill points on here. But from what I know, I don't think you can. You get those jobs, but it doesn't say anything for getting a bonus out of it. So these are probably one of the last that I will go for. Same for eco driving. So I'm first going to concentrate on these ones. And once we are level 36, you should be able to have 36 points, I think. So then you have all of them. That's for the skill points. So time to do some transports. Let's see which gives us the most money. Hire driver is always going to give you less money, because you just get a fee for the transport, but not for all the work you do and by picking up the trailer and all that. So it's always going to be less money. But we let's have a look. Just gonna put the filter on price here for a second to see what we can get. I get 5,800 here, but that is with the fragile cargo bonus for a quick job. So let's have a look at the freight market. Already 9,000 here, so that's already a more interesting one. And on the external ones, only 2,000. Like I said, the World of Truck contracts are not money-wise not that interesting, but occasionally you have to do a couple, because especially if there's an event going, as there is now, but I already have that with one of my previous profiles. The event going was a French event where you had to either start from France or come deliver in France from 10 different countries. So yeah, there are easy ones, the ones that are kinda Belgium, Luxembourg, Switzerland, Germany, Italy. They connect to France, so you can easily get those. The UK as well, from Calais to Dover. And then you have, yeah, but you need to find 10 countries. If you don't have the DLC, then means you need to go eastwards. Austria, Czech Republic, Slovakia and Poland. 2 out of these 3 you need, including Austria, and then all the rest there to get the 10 events. And then you get like a little Eiffel Tower which you can put inside your truck. You have like pennants that you got, that was sort of kind of the reward. But as that runs till October 1st, I believe, that event, so I already got that one. So I'm just gonna go for the freight market for now, and let's off we go. So yeah, we're just gonna do this one. It's 8 tons. Also have to keep an eye on that, seeing we are bought our first truck. We have a 4x2. We're not gonna go for anything over 20 tons, because that's gonna make it pretty slow, especially if it goes uphill. And no, so we're gonna go for this one. No, we're not gonna go for this one. You have to click on Brussels, because that's the other thing now. You cannot fast travel here in this game, so we have to do a transport from Brussels. There's no other point. So to Felixstowe, which we already been. That's already discovered on the map. That's also not an interesting one. So we're just gonna do the, although it's the least amount of money, but we're gonna go there to Liège to also find, I think there's a recruitment agency there, as well as a garage. And that might be an important garage for later, because I think I'm gonna buy that one instead of expanding this one. The reason explained before. Of course we bought this truck, haven't driven it yet. These are like the first kilometers. We have, according to the dashboard thing here, 1400 liters of fuel, and we can do about 4000 kilometers with it. So in the beginning we do not have to worry about fueling up. The fatigue simulation is on. That means that we can drive for 11 hours. And then you need to take a rest stop for which is 9 hours. That, yeah, you have to keep an eye on that as well, seeing you have to repay your loan every day at 12 noon. We set the GPS on this one, so we're gonna take that one. The freight market, you always have to go into that, yeah, pick up order thing there, the icon. If you go from World of Trucks contract, you do not need to do that. Then you will immediately, as we see now, you will immediately see which one you need to pick up. Have to be pretty straight here because I have the trailer thing on experienced. You can do that in game settings. There we go. And then you need to be pretty straight underneath it, or it does not give you the option to attach it. But you can uncheck that in game settings, and then you just have to drive underneath it and it immediately will give it. 167 kilometers apparently. So that's for like 2-hour drive. Virtual of course. So anything else that I because yeah, I'm sort of recapping with commentary this time what I did in the live stream, because I did that without commentary. Any other settings that I have on or off? Let's see. Yeah, I do have the speed limiter, although I kind of play it full simulation. I have the fatigue simulation on. I do have the speed limiter up, and the reason for that is in the UK you can do 60 miles an hour on the highway, which is 97 kilometers. And if you have the speed limiter on, the truck can only do 90 kilometers an hour. So that's why I have the speed limiter off. And it also means that you can also here now in Belgium on the highway you can do 90 kilometers with a truck. In Holland and Germany it's 80. But you can put the cruise control let's say on, yeah, probably on 5 kilometers, but I usually put it like 4 kilometers higher. So if the maximum speed like here in Belgium is 90 kilometers an hour, you can go for the cruise control at 94, and the speed cameras will not go off, and also the police cars driving around here will not give you a ticket. That's pretty much what it comes down to. So I have it at 95 cruise control now, but I can decrease by 1 kilometer. There you go. I also map buttons for those things. Now other than that, I need to see if with this Volvo truck the steering is a bit, yeah, I play with the keyboard, so you sort of get like these steering moves which are a bit shocky. Because yeah, if I just keep the key, then I go into the gas station. But I need to put the sensitivity kinda that high for the parking jobs, because otherwise you have to go forward and backwards very often. Now this game is with AI traffic. Normally if you put on the indicator, they kinda slow down a little bit, so they give you some room to get like in this case where I had to change lanes, but you still have to keep an eye on them, because sometimes they just attack you. You can hit traffic, but also traffic can hit you. I had it a few times on my other profile, just driving on the highway, and then suddenly you get attacked by one of those AI cars. And although it's not your fault, you're gonna get fined for it. You're gonna get a fine of 400 euros or something for an accident, causing an accident, something like that. Because yeah, this is sort of how this game works with the AI traffic. Although there have been some updates, and they are more intelligent now than they were in the beginning of the game, what I make of some YouTube footage that I saw. So at this moment I only have the base game, which is like Belgium, France, Holland, Germany, Switzerland and so on. There is a Going East DLC, that was the first one that became available for this game. I think game itself at this moment is around 20 euros on Steam. Probably can get it cheaper elsewhere, but I just kinda go by Steam normally. Going East DLC is about 10 euros, and that will give you extra cities in Poland, Slovakia, also not sure if they add Bulgaria, but or Bulgaria, whatever it's called in English. But they do add Hungary though. So, and some more cities in Poland. We have a few now, but not on the base game, not that many. So, and then the second one is probably the most interesting one. This Scandinavia DLC, because well, it's the most interesting one in that way that it gives you 3 new countries: Denmark, Sweden, and Norway. 27 cities in total that they add. Also 12 ferry terminals as well in Norway, Sweden, Denmark, as in the UK, so that you can go from Scotland to Norway, for instance. And also double trailers, I believe. Those are all kind of linked to the Scandinavian DLC, which at the moment I think it's like 17.99 or something. The game itself was released in 2013, early 2013, and at the end of 2013 they came up with Going East, the first DLC. And then the Scandinavian DLC is 2015, and then last year they brought Vive la France. We have 7 or 8 cities in the base game in France. And then they add 15 cities if you buy the Vive la France. But since that is the newest DLC, that's also, yeah, it's the same price as the Scandinavian DLC, 17.99, but Scandinavian seems to be more interesting, seeing it gives 3 new countries, but you can get it all in a package for about €40, I think. Then you have all the 3 DLCs. And although it's an older game, 4 years old now, but they're still upgrading and updating it. This version is 1.28.3 or something, but they are working on 1.29, and they are also working on Bella Italia, which will give Italy, we have 3 or 4 cities there now, Torino and Milano and stuff like that, but it will add the rest. Pretty intense city life, they say, so I'm assuming these cities are gonna be close to each other, and they probably add, like in the French DLC, I don't know, about 10-15 new cities, I guess, and that will be released somewhere in December, I believe. They announced on the site, and most likely the 1.29 upgrade version of the game will also be ready then, I guess, assuming they will sort of release the 2 things at the same time. Now let's have a look where the garage is, because we didn't take the first Liège exit. We are taking the second one here, and that's kinda like Liège industrial zone. But I think that the garage is here though. There is also a recruitment agency in Liège, but that is in the city, so we probably have to drive there then. Now speed cameras, obviously. Already in the live stream I got like 2 or 3 speed tickets. You can also go through the red light, but it was still orange, so I'm not getting a ticket this time. And then you have police cars driving around, and they can also give you a speed ticket. Those are kind of the traffic violations. Also, that you can put that off if you want, but I have it on. I play yeah, as much as possible in full simulation. The only thing that I don't have on is the fuel simulation, because yeah, seeing I'm driving with the keyboard, I have the thing on automatic, so I just go with what the game gives me here. But if you drive manually, you probably can drive more efficient, and that might result in a more interesting idea to put the fuel simulation on as well. But yeah, I don't know. I don't even know if people play the game like I am now, because there is also a multiplayer, although not officially, because the multiplayer is not like a feature from the game itself. It's a mod created by a modification created by some players or from the community. There are a bunch of mods. Also for these trailers, for instance, you have like the real European companies you can put on. that good enough? Yeah. Got away with it. I thought I was outside on the line with the other side, but it's fine. So, first cargo delivered. No bonus here. We only get a proficiency bonus, which depends on your level. The higher level, the more bonus you will get. But other than that, we get an XP bonus for parking the trailer, skilled parking. You can skip the parking, which gives you 0 XP. On a short job like this, you can do like an easy parking job, which is somewhere by the wall or something. That's you can normally put the truck forward there, and you will get it that way. And then skilled is always between two trailers or between a trailer and a wall, something like that. But yeah, it gives you more experience points, and that makes you level up faster. Back to the job market. So, we are in Liège now. We know that we are in the industrial zone. So you can always look on the map and have a look. Which is available is ITCC and Stokes. Those are the two companies available where we are now. And you have Euro Goodies in Liège itself, and this I think this is a recruitment agency. The question marks are either a recruitment agency or a truck dealer. So let's see which is available, if there is any available. So it would be interesting to take Euro Goodies transport. There's only one available, and the rest is Stokes and 2 ITCCs. 3ET or 3ET, whatever that is. That's usually that's like a farm thing, or something to do with wood. E-Acres is the farm thing, and 3ET is that's a wood factory or something, and that's usually outside of the city somewhere on a country road. And is there anything else? Yeah, you have Steinbruch. Those are like stone mines, always outside of the. That's somewhere in a pit, and might have some problem already with the Volvo with 460 horsepower to get out of there if it's heavy transport for sure. Although it's 20 ton, that's kind of the limit for normal cargo. From Liège to Rotterdam, not that interesting, because of course we want to discover as many cities as we can as well while we're doing this. So we already been to Rotterdam, and also not that interesting. Dortmund, but that's 22 tons, that's already gonna be a slow transport. But yeah, it's all about 20. The only thing we have is Rotterdam 4 tons here, but we're gonna skip that. I'm gonna go for this one, I guess. Liège to Rotterdam, and then we'll see where we can go from Rotterdam. Have more options towards the UK or towards Germany from Rotterdam than from Belgium, but and also since it is in the city, that means we can also while we're doing this find the recruitment agency in Liège itself. So we need to get back on the highway and take the next exit to the city, I guess. Like here we can sort of... oh, there's something else where you I don't know if it's still going, but there's something else you can get fined for, and that is headlights. Between 7 PM evening time and 7 AM in the morning, you need to have your headlights on. If you don't have them on, you're gonna get a fine. It's one of those things. You can always check the in-game time on top of your GPS thing. So it's like Tuesday, and it's 17:15 at the moment. This truck runs pretty smooth, I must add. Although it only has 460 horsepower. On my other profile I started once with the MAN and once with the Scania. But this 460 horsepower is pretty okay. With Scania you're messing about, if you go for Euro 6 you have 370 horsepower and sometimes a bit of a problem. And the MAN is even less, I think, 320 or 360, those are the two available at the start. So, we're gonna look for the agency and then pick up our transport to Rotterdam. Liège, Brussels, Rotterdam, that's all highway, so it's gonna be pretty smooth. There is the agency on the left, it will discover it now. Or it should be. There you go. We already found a few in Brussels, also in the UK I think we found one, and so we will already be have a few available if we want to hire some drivers, which we're gonna do probably in the next video. Because I first need to get a bit more money to I can get the loan, but this is a bit of an annoying thing. Like here there's only one trailer available on this whole parking lot thing here, or the company ground, whatever you want to call it. And then you have to go into this icon and select it. That's a bit, yeah, it is what it is. It's not the case for the external contracts as I mentioned before, but maybe they update that in the 1.29, although I don't think so. It's probably a feature of the game that if you choose freight market, that it will actually you need to choose it from the icon there, pickup icon. That beeper thing I might put up as well. But yeah, it kind of gives you an idea. No, you're gonna wait, guys, seriously. Long row of traffic. Oh, I just went before it. So we're gonna do this transport and then have a look what's available. If not, I might stop the video here. With videos, yeah, I can do 2-hour videos as well, but then you have to upload several hours. It's easier to do longer videos in a live stream, because then kinda, yeah, YouTube makes a video for you, so makes it a bit easier. Like here, pretty smooth uphill, although we are carrying 20 tons. Would have been more of a problem with the Scania here already, I think. Not sure what I'm gonna do. I might just keep this truck at 460, seeing it's the only Euro 6 engine available for this truck. You have the 750, but that's Euro 5, and kinda want to drive Euro 6 engines. But there might be an upgrade. They did a DAF DLC with all kind of accessories for the DAFs, a DAF DLC pack, and while they do that, everybody got also a upgrade on the engines. So there are 2017 engines available now for DAF. Obviously Euro 6, and I'm so on the wrong lane. But this is, oh, yeah, right, we didn't go to Rotterdam. There was a police car, that's why I slowed down a bit. The police cars, they have, yeah, like the colors in real life. So in Belgium those are Audis, like they are in real life. Highway police is Audis in Belgium. In Germany it's looks to be Volkswagen Passats. Also gonna put on the lights before I get a fine. 6:30, so from 7 on the lights are not on. Now on the navigation system you have like the fuel icon, and then you have like a bed icon, and that is sort of that is for your rest stop. if you press F6, you get a overview for the transport that you're doing, when it's due, when it has it needs to be there, and so on. And it says the next rest stop in 2 hours. Whoa. 2 hours and 7 minutes it says. And yeah, so we didn't pick the right transport. I just realized now. Because the transport is 4 hours and a half still to drive. And yeah, you can speed it up a bit and then without getting fined, that is. Now, we are in Germany here. That means that the speed limit goes down from 90 to 80. So I'm sort of gonna get it at 85, 84, something like that. And then put the cruise control on. So we didn't, that's also something you can look at. To try to do this much as possible transports in the same time. So you can drive for 11 hours and then you need to take a rest. And that's why we picked the wrong transport. If you click on it, it will tell you how many kilometers it is, how long the drive is, and so on. So you can take in consideration the rest time if you play it full simulation like I do. So yeah, and the next stop is in about 2 hours. And we still need to drive 4 hours to our destination, which means we have to take a rest stop. And that's, well, it's not a problem yet. But if it passes the midday in-game time, yeah, then you have to repay the loan that you got from the bank. So then basically you're driving this transport for free. And that's sort of how it already announces that you need to take a rest stop. The driver yawns a few times. The first time, yeah, something like 1 hour and 45 to go. And he will do it a bit more occasionally. The icon is sort of getting blue on the navigation, and then afterwards it still gets red. And also there, if you do not take the rest stop, you will get a fine for not respecting the drive and resting times. Just how it is. If the icon is blue, you can still drive on, not a problem. If the icon is red, yeah, you best take the rest stop when you see a parking or a hotel or something like that. Or if you have a garage nearby, you can also go there for to take your rest stop. Yeah, they have to give way to us, so I'm just gonna go blindly here. No, in this case, it's another story. Now we have to give way if there is a car. There isn't, so up we go. Trees. Now I get 60 FPS, but coming out under that bridge there with the trees loading, I had a bit of an FPS drop there. Probably something to do with my PC specs, but yeah, it is what it is. That this game is basically a single player, and then you have traffic. So the multiplayer is yeah, interesting if you play with a bunch of friends or something, and you do a convoy. Then you can all do the same transport, and you sort of do a convoy. Even the community has convoys. I believe there is one next Sunday night from Sweden to Norway or something, or just from Denmark to Sweden or whatever. And then they even open a server for that, just to go, and then everybody can drive along. But if you go to the multiplayer and go back to the single player afterwards, it also messes with your in-game time in such a way that I played for like a few hours now in game, that is 2 days or so maybe now. And if you go multiplayer and you come back, then it says like you have 4,000 days or something. The multiplayer, you can download that mod, but you have to be playing for at least 2 hours. So you have to play the game for 2 hours in single player, otherwise you cannot play in multiplayer. It's one of those, yeah. Just realized that was a cop car, and the speed limit is 80 here. So, the bed icon is red now. That means if there is a parking lot, we need to stop. If we do not stop there, it's gonna start firing in us. We have 34 minutes left to take the stop, which is not that many. And seeing we are kinda on national roads or country roads, it might be a problem. Normally it does not fine you unless you really ignore everything and everybody. Jesus Christ. That was a last minute emergency brake. Also there you can get fined for accidents. I already mentioned that I think, but you can always look on the minimap to see if there is a parking space nearby and then go for that. Might have to do a little detour for it, but this is sort of like a national road where you have to go on for a little bit from one way to another highway. They are not connected, so you have to go up the highway and then go to the other highway. 10 minutes for the rest stop, so it's not looking... we might get a fine. And that all doesn't matter once you have your company running with a few trucks and because yeah, well it's costing you a few €100 or so. But in the beginning it all kind of matters. You have your fuel, you have your damage, tire wear outs and stuff like that. You always lose a few percentage by doing a couple of transports. So the time is up for the rest, which means yeah, we'll see what the game does. But I need to be straight here. It's gonna find us anyway if we just keep on driving, but if we can find a parking spot, there might be one nearby, and then the game does not fine you if you stop there, of course. If you drive on, it's gonna fine you for sure. And not once, but as long as you keep driving, it's gonna fine you, and the fine is only going up. I believe the first time it's 140 or 160 euros, something like that, and then it goes up pretty fast every couple of minutes. I don't see immediately. This is like the third warning that I'm getting now, and then also yeah, it sort of darkens your view. But as long as I don't see a parking spot or a fuel station or something like that where you can take a rest, yeah, there's not much I can do. Then keep on driving. But like I said, you can put that up. It might be interesting to put that up in the beginning of the game. Gives you also more time to do a transport every day to get your week productivity of the garage. But yeah, it's called simulator, so I put all those things on. Although I have the speed limiter off, I still kinda go by the speeds. It's 80 kilometers here, so I put the GPS at 84, because I know that the speed cameras don't go up and so on. But if you put the GPS on 86, the speed cameras will go up. Might get away with 85, but that's a bit risky. In that way that yeah, downhill you can do 80. If you put it on 85, you go a little bit downhill, then it's immediately gonna be 86. And if there just happen to be a police car or a speed camera, yeah, then you get the fine for 1 kilometer an hour. There's a gas station, and that's pretty simple. We have to stop there, and we're gonna yeah. And also might be a good idea to now you need to take the left one, I noticed, because I put myself on the right one the other day, and it didn't give me the option to kill the engine like it does now. So, how do you do the rest? Pretty simple. Press the following key to rest, enter, and it's Tuesday 9:30 now in game, and it kind of fast forwards 9 hours. You are getting some rest. There we go. Now it's Wednesday morning, 6:32, and that's basically the only thing you have to do. So it's not like you need to go offline for 9 hours, but it's still not 7 AM, so also your headlights need to be on, or you get another fine for that. And now I don't see anything. So, change the camera too. Nobody there. We can go. Hopefully. So, next rest stop in 10 hours and 58 minutes. So it is 11 hours, but we already were driving for like, that's sort of how a minute is. Like every 3 seconds in the game is a minute or something. Every 3 seconds in real life, that is. It's about 1 minute game time. Which means that in 1 minute real life you kinda cover an hour in game, and that if you're on the highway, that sort of goes by an average of 60 kilometers an hour. Which means that in about 3 minutes you can do 60 kilometers. So if you have a 30-minute drive, you can do 600 kilometers. That's sort of what the time real life compared to in-game is in this game. What's going on here? No idea. Yeah, I already know what's going on. I need to get in front of that Mini. So the AI, as you can see, they are kind of messing with you. The truck is slowing down there, which also means that the rest of the traffic, and they kinda, if you're not paying attention, you're on that exit here. So traffic does play a role in all it. We do need the next exit, so we need to change lanes again and so on. But that's why I created the this profile thing. Oops, it was a bit too much steering. I'm just gonna do some videos combined with some live streams occasionally. The live streams will give us a chance to do some more. We can drive for 2 hours, do some couple of long transports, so on. It's gonna give us a chance to upgrade. Whoa, that was like a real great FPS drops. I already see one question mark here. Where are we going, by the way? Osnabrück. Okay. So, and that's sort of how you do it. You look for a transport, which we kind of failed, within the time zone that you can still drive before you need to take a rest. We didn't pay attention to that. And other than that, especially in the beginning, look for a transport to a city that you haven't been yet, so that you can discover it and everything that is on there. Let's see, what is this? Seems to be a truck dealer this time, Volvo. Sometimes there's a truck dealer in the city, sometimes it's a recruitment office, and sometimes it's both. I don't immediately see another question mark on the minimap, so I'm guessing it's let's open the map quickly. So the truck dealer is there, no other question marks. There's also a garage here, and this icon here is repair and tuner shop. So there you can go to repair your truck, and also to upgrade it or to change it visually or whatever it is you want to do with it. I need to be on that company. It's a bit of a problem, which seems to be on the left of the road. As you can see, the bus kind of slows down, so they give you room. He's gonna stop anyway, so. Kinda. Oh, this seems to be like, yeah, it looks to be like an easy one, but we're completely coming with the wrong angle to this one. I always go a bit leftish. So whether like this, yeah, that will do. And if you then change to which I mapped as camera 3, then you can sort of the lean out camera this is. Those are kind of the ones that I use. Camera 1 is like the cockpit view. Also the steering, you can reverse that if you drive backwards. So you can go either clockwise or counterclockwise, depending on your preference. So this is camera 1, cockpit view. Camera 2 is from behind, but then you can go look right and left. If you press those, you can sort of go around like that. Also gives you an option to park the thing. And then camera 3 is the lean out. The other ones, 4 I sometimes I use to pick up the trailer. Sort of lines you up there, getting a better look. And yeah, the 5 is on the roof, not really going anywhere with that. Bumper cams number 6. 7 is on the front wheel. I don't even get that. What's the benefit of that? And 8 is sort of like, yeah, a panoramic view of your truck. If you do that on the highway, you're probably gonna crash into someone. But the T for decoupling. Apples delivered from Liège to Osnabrück. So we do get a proficiency bonus for level 3. That's where we were. We get a long distance delivery bonus because the transport was longer than 250 kilometers. And that means that we get a skill rank 1 because we have 1 point on that. But yeah, it's only a bit, but the higher the level, the more it will be. Meanwhile, we also leveled up, which means we have an extra skill point available. We're going to put it on high value cargo, which gives 18% if we do that. High value, fragile, you cannot combine those two. It's either one of the two. I think. I haven't seen those two icons next to each other. The rest can sort of be combined. You can, if you do a long transport, you can do a long distance in combination with a fragile, and so you can get like 3 bonuses. That will do, and then afterwards we're probably just gonna expand the long distance here first, and then the rest. Doesn't give you, it gives 5% extra. Every point gives 5% extra reward bonus, but no more experience. So you definitely need these first 4 here. That gives extra percentage experience, and from then on it's all about the money. The more points, the more money. See, we leveled up. You also will give this icon here, new upgrades available. You can click on it and it will tell you exactly what's going on. We have a few low grills there in front to put some extra light. But that's all for the FH16 Classic, and we have bought the new version. So is there anything for the new version? Nope. Front rim, standard glass, and a hub. A wheel hub. So only these 2 are for our truck. The others are became available now for the older version of this truck, so don't immediately need to go there. Damage is 1%, as you can see here. You can do that by clicking on the diagnostic. It will tell you. So it's 90 euros, 1%, and that is basically the wheels. The wheels they always like wear out if you do transport, and if you upgrade them to yeah, the in-game is called, this is like the standard one, Trailmaster, and then you have Elemental and Runner. Those are sort of the 3. There are other wheels about in wheel packs or in mods. There are DLC wheel packs, but there are also mods available. For instance, with real tires. So instead of these virtual tires, you have Continental, Goodyear, Bridgestone, if you put that mod on. But some of the mods don't work together and stuff like that, so then you have to deal with that. Anyway, yeah, not that much driving here, but we sort of have to keep up to date with the career, so I kind of explained where we were. Bought the truck, showed the skill points, have a look on all the rest, and did a few transports. And so we have 58,000 now, but as you can see, we haven't repaid the bank yet. So, and the total amount is 2,800 and 1,400, so 4,000 a day, and that means that it automatically will go off your balance normally at noon. So the game time is now, as you can see on top here, Wednesday 7:40 AM. So yeah, you have two options here now. If we pay the repay the 50,000 to the bank, that's what I'm gonna do. So repay, bam. So we just got a loan from the bank, and we just repaid. We're doing 2 transports. We could repay the bank without even having to repay with interest. So we got a loan for 50,000, and I just repaid 50,000, and there was nothing else going on. The same here for the 100,000. 0 duration in days, because they still need to collect it at noon. But yeah, I cannot pay it anymore now, of course. But by repaying that, I can borrow 400,000 again. So I have to upgrade my garage. I can get another truck. I can get 1 driver and let him start already. Or I can do a few more transports. I think I need about 450 to get 2 trucks and then 2 drivers. Hiring a driver is costing you 1,500 euros. And then of course, once he's going, you need to pay his fee and all, but yeah, you will always make some money. In the beginning, that's only going to be a few hundred, but just like yourself, the drivers also upgrade. So every time they level up, they're going to get more money, and eventually you're going to get 20-30,000 from a transport from them. But it's going to cost you a lot on fees. That's the biggest cost you're going to have. So we have 8,000 in our account balance. So we only have to pay 2,800 a day now. So we can pay this and then do some more transports, and then in 24 hours in game time we will have more than enough to keep paying the rest. So I'm probably gonna do in the next video or live stream part number 3. There we will do some more driving. Get the account balance up to around 50,000, and then borrow 400,000, but I'm not gonna buy the 400,000 here. Although that gives you the best interest rate, I am going to get a loan for 4 times 100,000, and then you can do transport. And as soon as you have 100,000 available, you can repay the bank every time. That goes faster, and then if you do the math on that, it will actually cost you less than loaning the 400,000 in one go, because you can repay it easily in parts of 100,000. 400,000, yeah. Then you have to do a lot of transports to get that repaid, or just let it be and pay that amount every day. You can also do that, whatever it is you want. But the idea is to get always 500,000, 400,000 or 500,000 available to get a loan, so that you can get more garages, more trucks, more drivers, and then eventually you will have no more loans and everything will be running smoothly, and your account balance will go into the millions, or long-term players have a couple of billion already. So that's what's going on in this game. But anyway, so yeah, all in all, still more than a 1 hour video, but yeah, it's the beginning of the career, so lots of things have to be explained, and in the next video will probably be shorter and just basic driving. Get our account balance to 50,000, and then also in the next one or in the video after that, we will get a few more trucks, hire some drivers, and expand the company that way. I will see you guys in the next one, and bye for now.